What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, newly crowned 3-belt unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and ERROL the Truth Spence Jr. 28 wins, no loss, and no draw. 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He picked up that World Boxing Association, better known as the WBA strap, last night from Cuban star former WBA welterweight world champion Yordenis Ugas via 10th round stoppage, in which Errol Spence, he broke Yordenis Ugas' right orbital bone. Okay, he broke Kell Brook's left orbital bone back in May of 2017 for his first world title opportunity. And now he holds the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, and the Ring Magazine, the linealship to the welterweight division. He's only missing one belt, and that's for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. That was already the biggest fight in the sport of boxing between himself and his biggest rival, an undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, and he is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence "Bud" Crawford. 38 wins, no loss, and no draw. 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. So, with that said, after the victory, Errol Spence stayed true to his word, and he called out Terence Crawford right after a post-fight interview and said, "I'm coming for that WBO strap." Well, now he went even further when he woke up this morning and he put up a post of Big Fish Grin Reaper knocking on all the sanctioned bodies' doors. First door is the IBF, second door is the WBC, third door is the WBA, and he knocks on the fourth door, and the letters on the door, they don't have a belt on the door. It just says Terence Crawford, TC, and he got the Grin Reaper, says strap season, and he put this post, this title, right? Had some hiccups on the way, but you know what time it is now, champ. Time to be legendary. At Terence "Bud" Crawford, the biggest hashtag strap season, right? So, and this is what you can see. Errol Spence put up this post, and you can see the Grin Reaper there, right? Knocking on the door of all the sanction belts. So as you can see, the IBF is the first one. That was Kell Brook. The WBC was Sean Porter. The WBA, that's Yordenis Ugas. And you see the fourth door with the Grin Reaper with the big fish. And the door says Terence Crawford, and it says strap season. So you can see the title right there, right? So Errol Spence is aggressively now pursuing Terence Crawford. This is something that everybody continued to say wasn't going to happen, okay? And now he is, aggressively pursuing Terence Crawford. People were saying that he wasn't going to call out Terence Crawford's name, okay? Well, he's calling out Terence Crawford's name. People were saying he was ducking Terence Crawford. He was avoiding Terence Crawford by putting up, the fact that Terence Crawford, he was telling Terence Crawford it had to be a 60-40 split, then 70-30 split, then 80-20 split. People was using that, saying Errol Spence wasn't, looking to fight Terence Crawford. He wasn't serious about it. Well, now Errol Spence has let you know these hiccups along the way. He had 2 major setbacks. After he unified the belts against Showtime Sean Porter back in September of 2019, he suffered that horrific car accident. He was out for 14 months. He came back. He defended his titles against Danny Garcia for the first time. He never got to defend the title. So the first title defense he had was against Danny Garcia, 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer, in which he dominated Danny Garcia. Then the pandemic hit. That was December 5th of 2020. Then the pandemic hit. He was out the ring. Then he announced that he was coming back to the ring August 21st of 2021 against legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao. But you got it. He suffered a broken nor detached retina that saw him have to be removed from that fight. And Yordenis Ugas, who was supposed to be the co-main event, elevated to the main event, okay? And oddly enough, Yordenis Ugas was supposed to face off against Fabian Maidana in the co-main event. And Fabian Maidana, the younger brother of former world champion Argentinian superstar boxer Marcos El Chino Maidana, he suffered a similar injury that Errol Spence suffered. So the cards just aligned for Yordenis Ugas to prove that he was actually the world champion. He was elevated to the main event, faced Manny Pacquiao and dominated Manny Pacquiao, won unanimous decision. Okay, so now Errol Spence gets to fight Yordenis Ugas. So that was 14 months layoff into going into the Danny Garcia fight. Then it turned into, it went from the 14-month layoff with Danny Garcia fight to that was December 2020 to him not making a ring return until April of 2022, 2 years later, okay, because of the setback. So he said, I had a few hiccups along the way, and now you already know what time it is, okay? Now, Terence Crawford, he took to social media. He responded, you know, to Errol Spence via social media, and he said, congratulations to Errol Spence. He said no more excuses, no more side of the street talk, no more roadblocks. You already know what time it is, okay? And he congratulated Errol Spence, and he said that, you know, you already know what time it is. And Terence Crawford, he was scoring the fight via social media. He gave round 1 to Ugas, round 2 to Spence, round 3 to Ugas, round 4 to Spence. He gave round 5 to Errol Spence, round 6 to Ugas. So he was flip-flopping. Round 7 to Errol Spence, round 8 to Errol Spence, round 9, he said not looking good for Ugas in round 8. You know, I didn't see it that way, but, you know, he scored it the way he wanted to score it. Terence Crawford, he was saying at one point in time, this fight is in his rearview mirror. He was saying that, the fight was behind him. He wasn't going to pursue, Errol Spence anymore. It had to be 50-50 or no fight. He don't need Errol Spence. He's already a Hall of Famer. But I told you guys that Terence Crawford's competitive nature wasn't going to allow him to see him, not take on this challenge with Errol Spence Jr. If so, he would have had regret, and he's not going to live with that. He's too much of a competitor. He wants to prove that he's the best, okay? He's already undisputed at junior welterweight. This is his second undisputed showdown. Another major roadblock was the fact that he was signed with legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO and promoter Bob Arum, ESPN and Top Rank. Errol Spence is signed with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, founder and advisor Al Heyman, and he's exclusively, at one point, was with Fox pay-per-view. Now he's back with Showtime pay-per-view. So obviously those two networks will have to come together to do business, and that's very, very difficult. So with that said, now we are to the point where, it can happen, right? So it's easier to happen. We just had Showtime president of sports, Steven Espinosa. He just recently stated that, initially there was reports that Terence Crawford is going to sign a 2-fight deal with the PBC to possibly face off against former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. But now they're saying that, Terence Crawford wants no parts of that. They don't want no parts of that. They want to go straight into this fight with Errol Spence. Errol Spence doesn't have much time at welterweight. He's already said that his time at welterweight has already run its course. He has 2 fights left, was the Ugas fight and the Terence Crawford fight. He don't want to stick around any much longer but he wants to make this fight happen with Terence Crawford, and he wants to go to junior middleweight 154. Terence Crawford has uttered the same sentiment, saying that he's ready to go to 154 as well. Okay, so now it looks like it should be no roadblocks, okay? There shouldn't be no problems. Errol Spence seems fully committed. He let it be known that, the 80-20, 70-30 talk, was never realistic. He was only, kidding around with the fans that he was on social media with his significant other. He never expected Terence Crawford to sign a 70-30, 80-20 split. That's not realistic. Errol Spence, he understands that, he just sold out AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium. As reported, it was 40,000 fans in the arena, okay? So we know, he's a major draw. This is his 4th pay-per-view in a row. First one was against Mikey Garcia. Second was Sean Porter. Third was Danny Garcia. Now Yordenis Ugas, okay? As Errol Spence is committed to making this fight happen with Terence Crawford. So I don't see anything standing in the way of Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, point blank and period. So now people were saying Errol Spence is avoiding Terence Crawford. He's not looking to make the fight happen with Terence Crawford. Okay, he's dancing around Terence Crawford. Well, now he's aggressively pursuing Terence Crawford. Once again, putting up this post, as you can see, it's coming straight from Errol Spence. right there. You can clearly see it. The big fish, strap season at everybody's door. He done answered all the door. Kell Brook first, Sean Porter with the WBC second, Yadena Sugas with the WBA third, and now he's at Terrence Crawford door, the big fish with the Grin Reaper, and you can see the title. He's letting it be known it's time to go. So can't wait to see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.